What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Crypto Joe Show. Cryptocurrency mass adoption. It kind of reminds me of video game and the video game industry mass adoption. Because back in the day, like when the Nintendo Entertainment System came out and then the SNES and the GameCube and all that, video games were kind of a counterculture and they kind of had a bad rap to it. When you told people that you were a gamer and you gamed a lot, they had the idea that you were living in your mother's basement, playing video games and being a slob. And it was a subculture, almost a counterculture. And you were definitely considered a nerd or a geek or any other names that people use to kind of describe something that they didn't understand. But now look at video games. Multi-billion-dollar industry. Video games are everywhere. When you watch TikTok or you watch social media or you watch commercials or you go to a friend's house or something like that, you see video games. You see video game consoles, computer games, and it's grown. And it no longer has this stigma that it did. Well, cryptocurrency is pretty much similar. And mass adoption is happening. It is happening. And it very, very closely resembles, at least from my perspective, the mass adoption of the video game industry. So we're going to read this from beincrypto.com. MasterCard executive remains bullish on crypto mass adoption, as do I. These are some wonderful and amazing sales going on right now. If you have faith in your project, then obviously, your project's going to recover because it's a good project. It's not going to zero. It's not going away. It's not being rug pulled, is it? If you have faith in your project, then no, obviously it's not. Forward-looking corporations, executives, and investors remain upbeat about the long-term prospects for the crypto industry, despite the current market sentiment. Yeah. Imagine if everybody took the sentiment on video games and they said, that's it. I don't want to play video games. All of you out there, pick your favorite video game. Doesn't matter what console or PC or Mac or whatever it's on. Think if you started playing that game and you lived back in the day when the stigma was going on about gamers. If you picked up a game that you really, really enjoy, one that takes you out of this world and into an imaginary world where you can relax and be the person you want to be and do the things that you want to do. Now imagine if you'd said, well, the stigma, everybody thinks that it's this, so I'm just not even going to play video games. No, that's not the way it works. People get into it, people start using it, they like it, they enjoy it, they see the benefits of it. Other people look at it and they say, hey, that person's really enjoying those video games. That person is really making profits off that cryptocurrency. The DeFi, the lending, the staking pools, you name it. And then they get into it, and then someone else gets into it, and before you know it, you've got mass adoption. We didn't know video game mass adoption when it was happening. It was just we were playing video games, and society was looking down upon us and trying to make fun of us. We call them memes nowadays. There were just commercials and all kinds of things back in the day. If you were a video gamer, well, it was a subculture. MasterCard's Vice President of New Product Development and Innovation, Harold Bose, believes that mass adoption of crypto assets and blockchain technology will happen sooner rather than later, and I happen to concur. I do. I've always had a habit of being able to see the writing on the wall before most. It's kind of been a thing that's literally saved my life more times than I can count. As a matter of survival, I had to be able to see things before most. Get out of the area before most or get into the area before most. See the writing on the wall, see the sentiment. And years and years of heavy survival, and gosh, I should have died more times than I can count, and there's no reason why I'm alive right now. But I've seen more times than I can count how sentiment can make something happen. Here's an example. I was homeless. Someone had started a little house, kind of down in the ghetto, non-profit, and there were a bunch of homeless people living there. We weren't loud. There were a lot of us there, yeah, but hey, we were We were quiet. We kept to ourselves. We were off the streets. A lot of us went to work. The fair came into town, and because I had a place to stay, a place to shower, a place to eat, I was allowed to go get a job at the fair. I bought my first car ever that way. But the neighbors, through perception, seeing homeless people, well, perception is perception. And I could see the writing on the wall before most, and I got out of that house before, well, the proverbial fecal matter hit the fan. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Read the writing on the wall. In a blockchain webinar on May 24th, Bose noted, or it might be Bose, noted that there are already millions of people today consuming and sending crypto assets around the world, according to reports. And there's more and more and more. How do we know that there's more people using cryptocurrency? Well, because the market is a lot more than it was. There's a lot more retail investors, and it's gone through phases. It's gone through a retail investing phase. It's gone through an institutional investing phase. And this phase now is both a retail and institutional investing phase. There are challenges, obviously, ahead for crypto. Everything is a challenge, especially when you're a burgeoning market. He did note that there were a number of challenges to overcome before cryptos become mainstream. Lack of senior management understanding, commercial rationale surrounding scalability, cost and speed, and regulatory concerns are among them, he stated. Yes, regulatory concerns are a big one. Once we have regulation, then we open the door for a lot of these big institutional investors that just cannot invest in cryptocurrency because they cannot expose themselves in any way, shape, or form to possible disaster. Like many before him, Bose, I'm going to call it Bose because I believe it's French, compared the current state of the crypto industry with the early days of the internet. Think about the advent of the internet. No one was thinking that Amazon could even be a concept. You need the internet for Amazon to work, he stated, before adding, we're in the same situation right now. How do we transform the lives of people and go into demographics or groups of people who don't really think about blockchain first, but think about their business problems? Well, you take their business problems that they have and you flip it around and you show them how cryptocurrency can solve their business problems, such as Nostro Vostro or remittance payments, sending money payments across borders. Well, cryptocurrency excels at that, far excels at that compared to traditional finance that we have today. MasterCard has already shown an interest in the cryptocurrency sector with crypto-backed credit services and the recent registration of NFT and metaverse trademarks. And look, these credit card companies, they're huge. I mean, Swift, MasterCard, Visa, they're all huge. So when they start making moves in one direction, everybody should maybe take a peek at it and see why. Why would these big corporations move that direction? Well, because they want to remain relevant. How do you remain relevant? Well, you get on board the future. If you put your roots down and you're stuck in the past and you're unable to bend and move with the wind and adjust, then you're going to get stuck in the past. Don't be rigid. You got to be able to see the future. And part of being able to see the future is being flexible enough to take part in the future. The major cryptocurrency networks such as Bitcoin and Ethereum solve a few very clear problems, but there are better alternatives. Algorand is a better alternative to Ethereum. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's better. I mean, I don't even know how people can even compare Ethereum and Algorand. Not in my opinion, not financial advice. Almost instant low-cost transfer of money across international borders for BTC. What? That part is not right. That part is not right. Low-cost transfer of money across international borders for BTC. Low cost and almost instant? No, that would be Algorand, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not cheap to spend, and it's not fast to spend. And decentralized application and smart contract Web3 economy for Ethereum. Yeah. I can't wait for the day when these big, huge brand name recognition companies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and whatnot, projects, there we go, that's the word I was looking for. I can't wait until the brand name recognition for them dies down and people realize that there are better alternatives. But that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing for you to be listening to my voice at this time. Because Algorand is still the underdog. It's still a cheap price. But once people see the competition, boom, there you go. It's like living in a world full of nothing but McDonald's, McDonald's, McDonald's. That's all you know. That's all you know. Nothing else. And then suddenly you find a different restaurant, a different place to go eat. And then your eyes open up. There are many others for the multitude of crypto projects that have emerged over the past few years, but only the strongest will survive. Hear, hear. That's what I want. That's why I want regulation. Not only will it open the doors for these big investors that can get in, but it'll also shed the bad investments. It'll separate the wheat from the chaff. The comments come as cryptocurrencies continue to decline in what appears to be the beginnings of a prolonged bear market. I think it'll probably end by the end of the year. Bear markets are always shorter than bull runs. I think this one will end at the end of the year. Cyclical markets. Markets are always cyclical. You know you're in a bear market when mainstream media revels in the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, with clickbait headlines claiming it's all about to crash to zero. Yeah. And the same happens in the reverse. When the markets are going up, everybody's euphoric. When you hear all mainstream media and all the YouTubers and all the investors saying that everything is crashing, everything is going to zero, pull all your money out because it's dead, don't be an idiot, don't get caught holding the bag. For me, that's when I get happy. That's when I get excited. That's when I'm like, this right here. This is the time when money is made. This is the time when everybody's backing out and selling stuff at a lower price than it should be. I've done my research. I believe in the project. Algorand is not going anywhere. The marketing is ramping up. I like it. It's fast. It's secure. It's getting a faster TPS very soon. It's got lots of connections. I highly believe that it's got something to do with the Hamilton project as well. Yeah, good times. But when the market's crashing, everybody wants to join on the bandwagon. When the market's going up, everybody wants to join on the bandwagon. That's just the way it works. What you need to do is stop, watch the bandwagon go around the block, and realize that it just keeps going around the block. We keep going in these circles. Market crashes, it's going to zero. It's horrible. I don't know how many bloody Wednesdays, bloody Fridays, dark Tuesdays I've been through. I don't know. A whole bunch. Just a whole bunch. But it always recovers. Don't get on the bandwagon. Take a step back, watch the bandwagon go around and be like, well, I don't get it. People don't like to buy into the stock markets or cryptocurrencies at a sale. They only like to buy when the prices are going up. And I get it. Emotions. The same happened in 2018 following the ICO boom and Bitcoin's rapid ascent to its peak at the time of $20,000. And that was an exciting time. That was crazy. That was when everybody was saying the future is Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. Everywhere you turn, Bitcoin. Where there was no other cryptocurrency. There were, but all you ever heard about was Bitcoin. And cryptocurrencies were complicated back then. You had to have some computer knowledge. It wasn't just this, go to Algorand, buy some Algorand, hold it in your wallet for 3 months and get rewards. And even before that, just hold it in your wallet and get constant daily rewards. It wasn't that. You had to have some sort of computer knowledge, but it's getting easier, which is another writing on the wall saying that mass adoption is coming, because user interface is upgrading. It is developing as time goes on and people use it. Today, the asset is trading 50% higher than back then. Yet the doom mongers are out in force once again with their tired old tales of woe. The sky is always falling. The market is always crashing. You're always going to hear someone somewhere saying that. I mean, look at the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. How many times has he called the market crash? Every time there's a dip, someone's calling for the market crash. Why? Well, because it's sensational. They'll get views and the market's crashing, so people look and be like, oh, you're right. The market is crashing. You're absolutely right. The market's crashing. Oh, you are so smart. Meanwhile, their other hand is probably buying the very same thing that they're telling you to sell. Bear markets are often considered healthy. Yes. Bear markets are healthy because they get rid of the scams. You know who's swimming with their trunks off when the tide goes out? Warren Buffett. Why? Well, because when you are scamming people and the market's going up, there is an abundance of money to cover your behind. You can pull money from other sources and say, hey, see, look, we are profitable. But when a bear market happens and the markets crash, where are you going to get your money? People are going to go and grab their money from your project. And if you don't have enough money to pay the people off when they go on a run, then it's going to expose you. When the market's down, when the tide is out, you know who's scamming you because there's less money. When there's abundance of money, you can just turn around, reach around, grab some money, and satiate or make your investors happy by giving them some cash from some other poor slob. But if your investors and all the other poor slobs are trying to get their money from you, then where are you going to get your money from? You're not. Your scam will be exposed. Bear markets are healthy as they wipe out the speculators and leveraged gamblers while enforcing the strong hands and those who truly believe in what crypto stands for, financial freedom. They also provide prolonged periods for research and accumulation. That's my thing right now. Accumulation. In preparation for the next inevitable bull cycle. Yeah. Because if you survive the dips, you'll see the gains. Which is why you never invest more than you can comfortably lose. If you're sweating the dips, and you're thinking, my God, what am I going to do if this goes to zero? Then in my opinion, not professional advice, just advice from somebody who's been there, you're investing wrong. You're investing too much. Or perhaps you're in a position where you shouldn't be investing at all. It's all about your personal situation. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to help protect you. I don't want you to go broke. I want to see you on the moon. I want to be driving our space guineas. I'll race you in space. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And I will see you guys on the next one.